Welcome to another edition of Digital Marketing 101. In this video, we're going to talk about how to fix your SEO if it's not working. So if you're a business owner, if you're a marketer, generating more organic traffic is more important than ever. If you're not getting the results that you're expecting from your website, then this video is for you. I'm Solomon Timothy. This is Digital Marketing 101. Let's get started. Before I can dive deeper into what exactly could be the issue for your website, I wanted to dive a little deeper into the different aspects of SEO and make sure that you're absolutely clear on what needs to happen before you can say something is broken. Most of the time, business owners are concerned about maybe one aspect of this SEO. They're spending more time on one rather than the whole. What I've done here is that I've taken SEO part into 3 sections, and I want to draw your attention to these areas so that you can invest equal amount of time on the area that you need rather than just a whole bunch of time on one thing. Before I can help you figure out exactly what's wrong with your SEO and why you may need to fix it, I want to show you exactly the different aspects of SEO that you need to pay attention to, right? So first I need to make sure you understand what all is involved here, and then you can dive deeper to your specific site and fix what needs to be fixed. So first and foremost, you have the offsite. These are external links. These are links that are pointing to your site, getting links maybe by guest posting. I write a lot of content on various publications. There's links coming to our site, social links, press releases, maybe you have a directory that you're a part of, right? So you're getting some links from being part of a trade association or whatever that might be. Those all are what we call off-site SEO, things that you can do externally that is going to affect your site internally. Secondly is the on-site, the things that you can actually carry over from one site to another. If you're a migrating site, you could take all of this with you, which is your content, your blog post, any kind of content for that matter, the title tags, the meta descriptions, the images, the alt tags, whatever you are considering to be content. If there's a video on the page, if there's an audio clip on the page, maybe there's some PDFs, they're all what we would call on-site. Those are things that you can actually control. You can create more of it. You can't maybe control people that are going to link to you. You certainly can control what happens on your site. This is what I consider the quality. So this is the quality aspect of things. This is what you can control completely. And this is what I would call authority. This is other people linking to you, and Google gets to see that and says, you know what? They get a lot of links from this source. They get a lot of links from social, posts perhaps. Maybe you get a lot of links from YouTubers that are linking to you from their comments because your product is amazing. But whatever the case might be, that is definitely going to show Google that the authority of it. The last component I want to touch on is the help. This is the technical SEO side of things, the crawlability, the speed, the mobile optimization, XML sitemaps, things that are a little bit more difficult unless you're a developer, right? The UI, UX, maybe schema markups might throw you off. These are all technical things that are really important from Google's eyes because you want to make sure it's a fast loading website, it's mobile optimized, pixel perfect, and you're constantly keeping up with all the latest trends that Google is putting out there, listening and willing to change the site as Google is recommending, right? Google recommends so many things in Webmaster Tools, and just keeping up with that itself is a full-time job. So if you can keep up with it, if you're listening, if you're making adjustments, you're testing, iterating over and over, it's a really good sign in the eyes of Google. Google will reward you. So when a question like this comes across my desk, hey, my SEO is broken, what do I need to work on? First and foremost, my question to you is, which areas are you working on today actively, and then you know what you need to do. You've set yourself some goals, maybe creating content on a weekly basis, maybe having a web developer analyze your website on a monthly basis if you're not doing that sooner, or working on actively developing content externally, generating links and buzz for your brand, digital PR being one of them. Anything that you could be doing to create, higher quality inbound links. Are you working on that? And this is what you really need to answer. And the reason why you pay a consultant to have somebody externally work on your site actively is because most website owners just don't have the time. Business owners don't have the time to actually invest into what really SEO needs. When you're trying to work on the crawlability, you find out the developer didn't do this didn't happen, and all of a sudden you have content problems and you can barely keep up with the external things like offsite SEO and the quality of it. Are they coming from spam links? There's just so much that could go wrong if you try to do it alone. It's not to say that you can do it alone, it's just that it takes a lot of time, right? And as things are evolving, you got to keep up with it. It really is a full-time job. So long story short, if you're having struggles, you would first have to figure out what areas do you need to work on and hire someone to work with you. Hire an agency, whatever that area that you think you need help on. You can hire an editorial person, right? Write all the copy for the website, optimize it, proofread it, edit it, expand on it. If the content is doing well that you need to work on, maybe expanding all the content, maybe the industry has changed, there may be some regulation changes, whatever that might be, you want to make sure your website is the source when it comes to content, right? When it comes to content about your niche, about what's happening in your industry, you want to be the homepage of that industry. If you can get that much content populated for your industry, you're not gonna have to worry about organic search, all right? That is number one. Secondly, you wanna hire the best-in-class developers to work on your website. That is staying abreast of all the changes from the hosting platform, the speed, which version of WordPress that you're running, what are all the plugins being used, maybe being unused, what's slowing down the website, what can you do to make it more efficient? In other words, if you had somebody who was coming from a slower internet speed from a mobile device on a 3G network, how fast does this thing load and how does it look on different size screens? What can you do to make their experience better? The more you can invest into that, the more likely that you're going to succeed in. All right? And do you have an active plan in generating and buzz? In other words, authority. Do you have someone proactively outreaching to get you on podcasts or to get you published on a separate site or to maybe create some press releases and make sure that every news event that's happening in your organization is actually putting out there, right? So these are the components that you would have to actively work on. Every single month, there is activity that needs to be done offsite. There'll be activities that need to be done on-site. There'll be activities that need to be done in terms of site optimization. So this would be the key to finding out where the bottlenecks are, and you can invest time, energy, resources, money, whatever it takes to work on it. And number two, once you do that, is measurement, right? Measurement is really important. How are you going to measure the effectiveness of the SEO? Are you going to be measuring in terms of calls, leads, just traffic, time on site, how many users, whatever that metric that you need to keep track internally, start doing that so you can see the benefit, the investment in starting to pay off as you're investing and putting more money and time into these areas. This is a great question. Plenty of site owners and business owners out there that are concerned about SEO. This is the most efficient way to drive traffic. Remember, the lower cost to driving a visitor to your website is going to cost you less to convert them. If you can get 100 visitors for $1 and you get a couple of conversions on it, now you're paying pennies to get someone to be converted. Now, if it costs you $100 to get 1 visitor, you can imagine the cost of converting somebody is in the hundreds of dollars. The cheaper you can get traffic, the cheaper your overall conversions are going to cost. So organic traffic seems to be the thing that everybody wants to master, and the more time you invest into it, the more money you're going to generate on the end. We get questions about this every single day. If you have specific questions about SEO or content marketing, on-site, off-site, digital PR, optimizing site, and putting schema markups, XML sitemaps, I don't expect you to know any of this unless you are an SEO person doing this on a daily basis. If you have questions like that, we have over 100 consultants that work alongside with you to fix the things that needs to be fixed to get you off on the right track, generating more traffic and more leads than ever. So if you like this content, click that like button, consider subscribing, leave me a comment on things that I might have missed here or areas that you're struggling with so that I can create follow-up content just for you. All right, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.